Alright guys, a little while back I did a video on pressure washing, and I had top 5 things that you need to have a successful pressure washing business. So today I'm going to do top 5 things you need for a lawn service. So let's just get the first 3 basics out of the way. Okay. Mower. You gotta have a mower. Whether you have a 60-inch deck, ride-on 0 turn, whether it's a push mower, a small 42-inch commercial or residential mower, you gotta have a mower. I recommend, if you plan on doing big properties, go with a 60-inch deck. If you plan on mowing little yards like mine and my neighbors' yards and stuff like that, I'd recommend going smaller. Now, I would get the bigger motor than this. This is just like a basic motor because this one only has 1 tank. If you would have upgraded the motor, it came with dual tanks, that would have been nice. But you know, on a residential yard, a 60-inch mower sometimes isn't the best. I mean, it can be big. It's hard to fit in the gates. You got to get gates set up the same size. So going, honestly, starting out, if I was going to be starting out, I'd go with a 48. And you know, if you got the money, well, I say this, if I was starting over again and I had plenty of money, I'd get a 60 ride-on, and I'd get like a 36-inch stander, because I've had to give up a lot of yards before just because I couldn't get in the back gate. So that's number 1 thing, is mower. Now we're gonna go blower. All right, this right here is what I have. Eight years in, still what I'm using. Not the same one, of course. The old one was a BG55, and I had 2 of them crap out on me because I just used the heck out of them. But definitely recommend one of these. You know, you can go with a backpack blower if you want to put 30 pounds on your back every time you need to blow off a driveway. I don't. Now, the reason I like the steel is because the pickup is on this side. I'm right-handed. The echoes is on this side, so it would suck to your leg the whole time you're using it, so I don't really care for that. Just one of those little things you don't think of. All right, so you got mower, blower. Next, it's gonna be trimmer. I got an Echo SRM 225. I've had these now I had this one for 4 years. The only thing I've had happen with it was the shaft broke, and I'd had another one that had just crapped out on me, and so I just took the shaft out of it. So this one's 4 years old. Amazing. I would recommend it. 217 out the door, which they may be a little bit more now, but 217 out the door. And you know, they come with a speed feed head already. If you go with a steel, you're looking at 270, then another 40 or 50 for a head. You know, I just don't see that. And the line I use is Echo. It's just a regular Echo. I think it's called something Edge. It's cheap. You get it at the same place you get these. I went through a bunch of different line. I used to use Ugly Line. I use Shindawa, and just don't need it. You know, you don't need to spend the money on expensive line. This is cheap stuff. It's orange. You can see it good when you're trimming, and it works great. So got your mower, blower, and trimmer. I recommend, no matter what you get, you go get a speed feed head, but these Echoes come with it already. So it's mower, blower, and trimmer. So the next 2 things that I would definitely recommend, okay, definitely recommend, is going to be a pole saw. Mine is a HT100 steel. I've had this for 10 years, I believe, is what I seen the other day. I've had that for 10 years. I didn't even know they made such a thing. And I can still get this. Never change a carb on it. You know, I've changed the air filter, always kept 100% gas in it. I can hit this back right here, choke it, pull it a few times, and it starts every time. I mean, you can make so much money, and I have made a lot of money just being able to use this. So for example, this abandoned house beside of me, I've had jobs before where somebody's come in and they've said, hey, you know, can you take care of something like this? This is just a bunch of overgrowth crap. And, you know, I say, yeah, I can take care of that. Well, you can go in there with loppers, but ever so often you're going to get something big that you got to cut. Well, instead of having a chainsaw, you can set back about where you're at now, cut it, and let it fall. I've cut big trees down. If you've seen last year, I had those 2 big branches on a property fall down. I mean, that thing will cut through about anything you need it to. So the fourth thing I would recommend in business would be a pole saw, because, you know, as big as this stuff is right here, you can come in, cut it, stand back away from it. The chains aren't that expensive. Keep oil in it, keep the right gas in it, and once it gets down, you can cut it up. You can go, we'll just say, for example, you know, like this tree over here. So they wanted to elevate it. Well, I'll tell you what, a even better one is this dogwood over here. You know, say they want that one trimmed up. Okay, just walk underneath it, trim it up, no big deal. I mean, you're gonna make so much money with it, and you'll go, man, I never would have thought about that, but you will. So you got a mower, blower, trimmer, and pole saw. You know, like this tree right here, you know, customer says, dang, every time I mow, I'm getting hit by limbs. Can you trim that for me? You can trim it with loppers, get up on a ladder and cut, and, you know, that's gonna help you out, but you're not gonna be able to really elevate that tree similar like that without something like this. They make pole saws that, you know, have the little rope on them and the chain, and you just saw them. You know, they work pretty good, but I mean, I'd recommend one with a motor. But you can make so much money. I can't tell you how many times that I have had jobs over the years, and, you know, I don't want to get close to it with a chainsaw because of which way it may fall, and you can take this pole saw and just do what you got to do to it. This hillside here, back in the spring, I cleared this whole thing off. I got a couple of sprouts grown now, but I cleared this whole thing off down here with a pole saw, just coming and cutting, and letting it fall and then piling it up. It's simple. All right, fifth thing is going to be hedge trimmer. It doesn't matter if you get an electric one, you know, whatever you want, whatever you like. Battery powered. I had to get this one last year because the one I had before this went out. But if you're going to be in a lawn business, lawn and landscape, people are going to say, hey, can you trim my bushes? Well, you can make pretty good money trimming bushes if you want to. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's not my favorite thing to do anymore. If they're normal, it's fine. When I got to raise that hedge trimmer above my head, they start wearing on your shoulders. If I had the money and I was starting a business, I would get one of those that kind of look like the pole saw, but you have the attachment on the end like a pass system or a combi system, and it has the articulating head. Man, those would be great. But not only can you trim bushes, you know, we'll just take this property again. Some of this stuff's going to be too little for a hedge trimmer or for a pole saw, and you don't want to come through here, you know, clipping them with hand pruners. So what do? Get your hedge trimmer. Take that hedge trimmer at the bottom of this and just make your way all the way through there. Clean it out, then you can start cleaning up. property lines. People have a property line, you know, let's say it's like this right here, and you got all this overgrowth and crap growing over. You can take that hedge trimmer and just go down through there, smooth it out. I mean, you can make so much money trimming bushes, and there's so many guys around me that mow but don't trim bushes. You know, you can go make $50, you know, in 15-20 minutes of trimming, you know, and that's just an added on feature, added on service that you have that you can provide to your customers. So top 5: mower, blower, trimmer, pole saw, and a hedge trimmer. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 extras, okay? 2 of them. The first one is a detail brush. You're gonna ask me, why do you have a detail brush? Okay, well, if you're the one doing the trimming, you're gonna be covered every day you come in, from knee down, covered up. You take this thing, get it off your boots so you don't track it in the house. That's great, okay? You don't want to track your grass all through the house. The next thing, and you know, I won't lie, this one has made me a tremendous amount of money too. And when I mean tremendous, I mean tremendous. Is a good set of loppers. You know, I mentioned this patch back here. If you don't have a pole saw, I mean, you can definitely get a set of loppers cheaper than you can a pole saw. But you can trim trees with them. I don't really recommend trimming bushes because that'd be forever. But say you got a big old bush right here full of junk, and then you got something like that growing up in it, you can find the bottom of it, take them loppers, clip it off, pull it out. You could go through here and cut probably 80% of this junk here with loppers. You know, it may not be the most ideal thing to do, may not be the thing that you want to do, but I love using loppers. I love clipping. You can go over and you can trim trees and get them to where, you know, with the pole saw you can really reach high. You may get it higher trimmed up than you want to. Well, with the loppers you don't have that. You know, high as you can reach you can get. Okay, I don't have a certain brand that I would recommend. Now the ones I have are Fiskars, and I guess these are fiberglass, I don't know. But the number one thing you want to look at when you get a set of these is those right there, the gears. When those gears move in and out, like so, let me get it to where I can do it. When those gears move in and out, you can get so much more torque on whatever it is you're trying to cut compared to just a normal set of loppers that's just like a big set of hand pruners. These came from Lowe's. I don't know, I paid $40 or $50 for them, but I think they're more than that now. But these are Fiskars. I just keep that blade cut. I've had these for 8 years. They have made me a ton of money and made some of my jobs really easy. But just make sure you get the ones with the gears. If that's the one thing you can learn from it, get the gears. I could give you all kinds of other things to do, other ideas. And you know, if you're watching this and you have comment down below. Tell me what you guys like, what you'd recommend, or what you would think be the top 5, or just add it onto my list. So anyway, that's my time for today, and we'll catch you next time. We'll see you.